Hey smart people, come on to my YouTube channel, Stenell the Money Therapist. Every episode that you hear, my podcast, right here, you will see me in the flesh talking about the same exact topic. See you there. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell.
Six years ago, my wife took nothing but an ideal and faith and turned it into a multi-million-dollar business with multiple streams of income. As a woman possessed, she overcame all obstacles and created multiple streams of wealth that has impacted our family for generations to come. From mental health professional to therapist to author to CEO, she is a constant reminder of the grace of God over her life. Get ready to listen to and take notes from Stenell, the money therapist, as she schools you on money, entrepreneurship, and life skills that was not taught. No more excuses. Wake up!
Thank you, husband, for that introduction. Welcome back to No More Excuses, Wake Up, where we talk about money, entrepreneurship, and life skills that was not taught. I am your host, Stenell Myers, also known as Stenell, the Money Therapist. Our topic today is entrepreneurship. Yes, entrepreneurship. That is our topic. Let's just jump right into it. Do you need a degree to start a healthcare agency? Or in my case, a after-school program? Do you need a degree? The answer to that question is to start an agency, it depends on what the recommendations is with the RFP, if it's a grant or if it's a government contract. I want you to understand something. A lot of people think that you need a degree to start an agency. And the answer to that is no. You do not always need a degree to start an agency. What you need is to be smart and honestly creative in thinking outside the box. You need workers to have the degree or the specialty or the skills or the certification that is required in order to complete the task or do the job. I went to school to get my PhD in multidisciplinary leadership so I could build my after-school program, thinking that is what I needed. When I was taking all my classes, I went to school for 5 years. I finished all my courses. When it was time for me to do the dissertation, I was in the process. I had already been awarded the grant for the after-school program, and when it came down to the government contract, I just didn't have the time. And it was like, what do I do? I'm opening up 2 businesses. Everything that I went to school for, the fundamentals that I learned in that PhD program, which my last year was the best because I learned so much. And the tracks and the models, everything that I learned, I actually was able to take that into building my after school program and having that knowledge for my government agencies. But you don't need a degree. It all depends on what it is that you're doing. In this particular case, for a healthcare agency, my support coordinators do need a bachelor's degree. They have to have a bachelor's degree in behavioral health, social work, some type of field that is related to mental health or disabilities, somewhere where you're working actively dealing with people in the community. You have to have a degree. For me, as having an agency, I do have a degree, but I do not think that I needed a degree in order for me to start the agency. That part I am not sure about because I walked in with a mental health counseling degree with a master's degree, and I really do not know if you need one to start. In my opinion, to start a support coordination agency, you do not need a degree. And I say this because I have seen other people that have agencies that do not have a degree, and they have multiple agencies, counseling agencies, support coordination agencies. Actually, when I opened a Better Me, my counseling agency, in home and community, that I talk about all the time through Children's Systems of Care, CSOP, I had the agency for a year and a half, and I had to come to realization that when COVID hit, my staff, they were licensed clinicians, licensed social workers, and I had non-licensed clinicians, non-licensed social workers, or professional counselors. Well, I had to come and realize that me, myself, I wasn't licensed, and that didn't stop me from opening up. This is a great example. Me not having a license actually made me more creative, because what I did was I hired someone, and guess what? I had an office. I interviewed the person at Starbucks because they're the distance of where they drove, and it was really far for them to come all the way to South Jersey to my office, and they were up north, so I met the person halfway. But I hired someone. She was a therapist. She had her license, and she had an agency before. She had her own counseling agency before, and now she was just solo on her own. She had her own clients, and I actually hired her and her license for my agency. And you can do this. You can hire other people that are licensed for your agencies. Do I recommend it all the time? It all depends on who it is, who you know. I didn't know this young lady, and that's what made it even better, because I didn't know her, and it was just very professional. Her job was just supervision. She will come in once a week, and she would do supervision with the staff. She would get paid for doing that supervision. I would pay her $150 for her to come in for an hour and 15 minutes to do supervision once a week. It also gave her an opportunity to come from out the counseling mode to come more into the supervisor role mode and to teaching. And it was really great, and my staff learned a lot. But I had to come to realization, especially when the market changed and the housing market changed and COVID hit, that it was more that I wanted. I was graduating or just changing from the counseling world. When I was doing therapy, I realized that because I just been doing it for so long, it's just something like, I don't want to do this. My heart is not in this. Should I keep it running? And because my heart wasn't in it, I did let that contract go. And that was through the Children's System of Care. So the answer is because I have a degree, I have a master's, but I wasn't licensed. And in order for me to have licensed clinicians, I had to have it under a licensed clinician in order to be able to hire in that particular field with my counseling agency. Government contract agency with the Division of Developmental Disabilities, my staff do all have a bachelor's degree, but it do not stop anyone from starting their own agency. That's something that you really need to look into when you're starting an agency, to see if you yourself need to have the degree. Anybody can start an agency as long as you can read, it's your field, you're passionate, you can do it. Now with my after school program, I have a master's degree. My staff are certified teachers, so I do need certified teachers. So you see where I'm going? Your staff have to have the credential, not necessarily you all the time. Now with this grant, the more you have, the more it looks great, because there's a panel that is actually looking at your grant, and they are reviewing it, and it's based on different levels inside your grant. It's on a scale, and you get a number for each section, and the higher you get total is who is rewarded the grant. And when you're dealing with school grant through the Board of Education in your state, you want to make sure that you have something, that you're coming in there with something. So in that case, yes, I have a master's degree in mental health counseling. That, I'm sure, made my points go up, because the owner of the agency, which is me, have a 501c3 but also have a master's degree. Could you have a bachelor's degree? I'm pretty sure you could have a bachelor's degree specifically to the after school program and getting this government grant. Yes, I know that you do need a degree for that, but do not let that stop you from opening up an agency, because when you do your due diligence, you will know exactly what it is that you need for that particular agency. I did not let that get me in a way. I just had to sit back and think when it came to my counseling agency, like, wait a second, I have an opportunity to get this contract with Children's System of Cares. I've been working in this field for 3 years and I know all about it. Let me at least try. You don't always need a degree to start, and that's what stops so many people. Oh, well, I need it. Well, how do you know? And you don't know, so then you never start and you never get to do or complete your full potential and what it is that you wanted to do. I remember when I started out, and it was just so many things because I was doing Joy, starting that, helping my grant writer, organize the grant on my part. She was asking me a lot of questions. I was really new at it. I was familiar with a budget, but I was always fearful of a budget. Completely fearful of a budget. Then I have the government contract agency over here. I'm trying to hire in both places, and what I realized is that when you have the vision, that's what you need. You need the vision, right? When you look at football teams, I don't know because my husband's a big football fan, but the owners do not always have the skills to actually physically play the game, but they know how to go out there and get the players for the game. Jay-Z is a well-known businessman, rapper, mogul, very smart, very intelligent. He don't play football. When have you seen Jay-Z put on some football gear and play? No, he's a businessman. He has, a $4 billion deal with the owners of the Denver Broncos. He do not play football. But again, if you don't think outside the box, you will remain inside the box. And as an owner of owning anything, you have to think outside the box. The struggle is real when it comes to single parenting. What we do, we think outside the box. Mothers or single fathers, we do what we need to do and we think outside the box. You take that same mentality and you bring it over into starting your agency, starting your business. It's the same thing. Do not let not having a degree get in your way. Do not let let me go to school so I can do XYZ. And I'm glad I said that because, again, I have my master's degree in mental health counseling. My bachelor's degree is in, I don't even remember what my bachelor's degree is in. That was so long ago. But the point is, even though my PhD, I don't have a PhD, I'm all but dissertation, right? So I'm a PhD dropout, right? I'm going to do a whole episode on that. My support coordination agency I had for 7 years, and I added on additional services. I added on community-based support last year, and this year recently I added on respite transportation and behavioral supports. And with behavioral supports, that's what I want to talk about. With behavioral supports, you have to have a BCBA, and a BCBA is a board certified behavior analyst. Basically therapy that provides individual treatment to children with autism spectrum. And it can be in a home, it can be in a hospital, it can be wherever the child is. When I was a therapist in a home, I had the training with BCBA under BCBA, someone that was a BCBA certified already. I'm talking about back in, I started the agency in 2015. I'm talking about 2013, 2014. BCBA, that is a whole nother episode as well in itself because a lot of people don't know and they're sleeping on it like I slept on it. It is like the next level of social work, the next level of being a licensed therapist. It's on that level. And if this is your field, then that might be something you want to explore. So I am going to talk about that. So anyway, the point is, because I know that a BCBA is needed, instead of me hiring a BCBA, although I do have a master's degree, the Division of Developmental Disabilities, you can have a BCBA for your own agency, and then you can also do behavior work for other agencies. This is so important because there are so many providers that need it in my field. In that field, helping or training or whatever that I need to do, that I know what I'm doing. Issue or a problem, you should always explore your options, because if you have a client, just fast forward, if you have a client and the client have behaviors, then you need a behavioral analyst. With these contracts, well, for me, I'm not going to pay for someone that I am already am. For one thing, I'm not going to do that, because I worked too hard in this field for too many years to go ahead and just say, okay, because they know they're needed. They know that they're needed. So I'm like, okay, although I'm busy, although I have a lot going on, I'm a 100% caretaker of my mother. I have these agencies. I have 2 schools. I have the support coordination agency with all these services. But what about me? What about, okay, let me think outside that box. And I'm telling you about, do it myself, keep the money within me. Now I don't have to hire anybody. That's $1,000 plus that I'm not giving anybody, because BCBAs can quit on you all the time. It is so hard to get them. They know their value. They know their worth. Why should they work for you when they could work for themselves? And that's what I ran into with my counseling agency. Why work for a better me? Why work for Stenell and she's getting contracts and giving me 60% and she keeping 40% when I can just get 100% and do it myself, or have my own agency and now I keep 60% and give my staff 40%. Do not let what you think you don't have get in your way. Do not let what you don't know get in your way. That is a problem. That's the biggest problem now. Letting what you don't know get in your way, making excuses, not moving forward, and now you didn't start. You didn't start anything. Go ahead and just get started. Do the research and see if you need a degree to start an agency, depending on what it is. What I do know, that you need staff that has those degrees. So I don't want you to be discouraged, because there are dropouts that are billionaires. Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, school did not define them. Why should you allow it to define you? Do your due diligence, see what you need, get your agency started. No more excuses. Wake up. Thank you for listening to No More Excuses, Wake Up. If you love the show, please subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes or Spotify. To learn more about me and my different agencies and what I do, go to StenellMyersEnterprises.com. While you're there, check out Money Therapy Institute and watch my video where you will see me doing a little acting, showing you how I fought and kicked down closed doors. You can also click on Stenell the Money Therapist and get my free budget spreadsheet. And of course, you can email me at contact@StenellTheMoneyTherapist.com. I'm also on social media, on Facebook at Stenell the Money Therapist and Instagram at Stenell the Money Therapist. No more excuses. Y'all know what y'all need to do. Wake up. Hey smart people, I have a 3-month one-on-one personal or business coaching program. As you all know, I paid off $50,000 in debt in 1 year. I will teach you how I stayed out of debt using my burner method and personalized spreadsheet I created to fit my lifestyle and keep me on track. You will learn how to understand your money communication style using my financial treatment plan. Also, if you own a small business and you feel stuck with cash flow or feel disorganized, I teach business owners and self-employed entrepreneurs such as yourself to financially maximize your money, build wealth using your business income, and retire working on the business while your business continues to run, such as myself. You can book a call with me. The link is in the show notes.